Welcome to CivilNet. I have two very special and interesting guests here in our studio. They are here representing EVN Community Theatre. Sonya Armaghanyan, you are the founder and artistic director of EVN, and we'll get to exactly what your theatre is all about. And Noemi Akopian, you are a participant and also a project assistant this time around. Sonya, please tell us what EVN Community Theatre is all about.
EVN Community Theatre is very small, and the name tells for itself, community theatre, where anyone is welcome, amateurs, professionals. And when I was trying to create this group of people, that's why I wanted to see a lot of different people who live in Yerevan, whether they're expats, diaspora Armenians, local Armenians, like theatre, love theatre, or are just interested to try themselves in arts of theatre, to come and join our team. Every time we do a project, and so far it's been only 24-hour theatre format, I always look for new people to come and join the team. And we had expats from Norway, Italy. We had diaspora Armenians, mainly birthrights,
Right.
who live in Yerevan right now, from all over the world, and of course local Armenians. So it's always been a very nice vibe and atmosphere. And 24-hour theatre, which is what we've been doing so far, is an experimental form of theatre where actors, directors, and writers create short, one-act, 10 to 15-minute plays within 24 hours.
How does that work?
So at 7 p.m. on a certain day, I choose a topic and give it to the writers, who take the topic and they write 12 hours until 7 a.m. next day. And then at 7 a.m., the directors and the actors receive the script, and they have 12 hours to rehearse and produce a play.
You've done several of these already. You know, I was following you on Facebook, and I would see some of the people that I know taking part in this 24-hour theater. So how do you pick the topics, and do you just appeal to people and say you can participate and anybody can participate?
It is very famous in the US, Canada, and the UK, however, not so much in Europe or other parts of the world. Georgia also has a festival.
Oh, for 24-hour theater.
For 24-hour theater, and they cooperate with the US Embassy there a lot. So yeah, and I thought, why not in Armenia? And it's a very good way to bring community together and promote community development. First time, and actually our theater was called 24-hour theater. And then I changed the name to Community Theatre because I didn't want to limit us only within 24-hour theatre format.
Right, because you might do something else later on.
Yes,
okay.
And so far we also did a poetry slam, also first time in
right.
Armenia with Hype pop-up
right.
gallery.
Right.
So that was really fun, and that's why I would like to expand to other forms of theatre as well. But so far we did only 24-hour theatres, and we participated in HighFest International Festival.
Very nice, very cool. Noemi, you are, as I said, a participant, so this isn't the first time you're taking part. And you are a student at the American University, a born actress, we suspect, hopefully. So how did you come to find out about this project, and what was your role as participant in the past?
Well, I've been an actor so far in all of the productions that we've done. And I knew Sonya from a play we did at AUA with Melissa as well. We did a reading for the Iowa International Women's Festival Association.
Right.
And we did a reading there of an Armenian play, and that's where I met Sonya. And then when she started this project, she just emailed me and asked if the AUA Drama Club and the Creative Writing Club would be willing to participate in this event. And obviously we were really excited, and we've been doing it ever since.
And did you find it difficult to learn a script and then to stage it in 12 hours?
Usually it depends. The scripts are very different, and we've worked with 3 different writers. The last time at HighFest, we got a really long script, and that was pretty difficult, so we had to be creative with it. But usually it's pretty interesting, because when you have such a short amount of time, you really have to focus, and you're like, okay, I have to do this. I have to learn these lines.
And do you ad lib, or you try to stick to the lines?
We improvise a lot.
I'm sure. Sonya, first of all, why EVN? EVN Community Theatre?
EVN is the code of Yerevan International Airport, Zvartnots, and I chose that Because I love to travel, and it's all about community. And maybe one day EVN Community Theatre also can travel. Right. Besides, I try to appeal to wider audience and participants, as I said, internationals, locals, anyone. So it seems that EVN, which is an airport code for Yerevan, which is also the base of this initiative, would be appropriate for the name.
Okay, very cool. More than promoting your theater company, you're doing something very important, worthwhile, and that will have hopefully a lot of impact in Armenia. We are now in the middle of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence in Armenia and around the world. So this weekend, EVN Community Theatre is focusing on several issues dealing with domestic violence or gender-based violence. How did that come about, and who are you cooperating with, and what do you hope to, what is the message?
I started EVN Community Theatre doing fun plays with various topics, bringing quotes from Alice in Wonderland as a topic for writers. And after doing a few productions, the UN approached me and asked if I'd be interested to participate in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And I was more than happy, because that's what I really want this community be about. And then IOM, International Organization for Migration, joined this initiative, which was very nice. And I reached out to Women's Support Center and Women's Resource Center and asked for their collaboration, and they agreed happily. We will be doing 3 short plays. 3 main topics are trafficking in women, domestic violence, and gender equality. Domestic violence and gender equality will be in Armenian language. Trafficking in women will be in English language. But there will be interpretation provided during the actual
For both
event.
English to Armenian and Armenian to English,
yes,
right?
we hope so.
Okay.
But definitely from Armenian to English, and then, however, it should be both. And what is very challenging with this project is that topics are serious,
sensitive,
and it's very hard to write a play in 12 hours and yet to write something about these issues. Mm-hmm. That is why we're tilting the format of 24-hour theater just a little bit.
Right, because I was going to ask, how is this going to work in 24 hours if we already know what the topics are about?
Right, so the writers do know what they will be writing about. However, to try and keep the 24-hour format as much as we can, I will give specific topics, and by I mean the UN, IOM, Women's Resource Center, Women's Support Center, all of us together. We'll give specific topic within women in trafficking and domestic violence and gender equality.
So they know the general topic, but not the exact thing.
And we've had meetings with all these organizations, and we discussed all these topics and the current issues to make sure that all our participants have a better knowledge and understanding of the issues and the key messages that we would like to present to our audience.
Okay, great idea. Noemi, what is your role this time around?
This time I'm an actor in the Women in Trafficking group, and that was a really interesting experience when we met with the Women's Support Center and the Resource Center, because we realized that we didn't know that much about the topic as well, so they clarified some things for us, and it was just really great because everybody is so serious about it, and everybody's taking it really seriously and asking very specific questions, because we want to do the best that we can, because this is such a sensitive and important topic, and we're just raising awareness about it, and to be able to do it through theater, it's a bit, there is some pressure.
Yeah, sure.
Because you don't want to upset anybody. But theater has a way of sticking with people that just simply talking about these issues doesn't. So it's a privilege to be able to perform in a play. Oh, definitely.
Right. It can be, because art, artistic expression, theater, culture can have a very big social and political impact, and so the sense of responsibility that you feel is very welcomed, I'm sure. So tell me, so the representatives from these organizations that you're cooperating with, the UN office, IOM, and the Women's Support and Resource Centers, will they be there at the actual day of the performance, and will they be able to interact with the audience?
Yes, we will have specialists from International Organization for Migration who will cover the topic of trafficking in women, and we will have specialists from UNFPA, Women's Support Center, and Women's Resource Center who will be covering the topics of domestic violence and gender equality. After each short play, we will have question and answer with the audience. Okay. So the audience members will have the opportunity to ask questions and clarify any issues that they don't understand. They can also ask questions to our participants, actors, directors, and writers about their creative work if they want to, or how it felt to work with these topics and present it to an audience through a theater. What makes this project even a little bit more challenging and interesting, and I hope also powerful, is that we will have few actresses who are survivors of domestic violence,
really?
who will be participating in the play. As I mentioned before, it's all about community, and everyone is part of this small community.
Sonya, if people want, if I wanted to be one of the writers, for example, or if they want to be one of the actors or producers or directors, how does that work? Who do you choose?
Before with the AUA Drama Club, because it was a group of participants and not individuals, Narek Seferian, who is this time around one of our writers, him and I asked them to perform something for us as an audition. With individual applicants, we asked them questions such as, if you could create worldwide disease, and it can be anything, what that disease would be and why. So
I'd like to know why.
Well, we had people who said, I would create disease where when you say hello to a person, that person smiles no matter what. And then it would go around the world and people would be smiling. And that's what we wanted to see in our participants' creativity and how their brains work.
And positive vibes too, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Sonya and Noemi, thank you so much for coming and talking to us about this theater. I hope you continue inspiring the creative juices in people and getting them to participate, especially in very important social issues like gender-based violence.
Right. I just wanted to add one thing. All our participants, and myself included, are volunteers. And that's also another amazing thing, that people want to do this because they like it. And when people create this place just out of pure passion for theater or the issues that are presented, it makes the project even better. So that's very important for me, and I'm very thankful to all of my participants and also the organizations that are collaborating with me for this project.
Right. Well,
also, Sonya is such a ball of energy
yeah,
because
I can tell.
She runs around. She makes sure everything's okay with the writers, and then that the actors, they feel comfortable, and it's just so great to be able to work with someone like that.
Well, a community theater that hopefully will have a lot of resonance with the wider community. So thank you for your efforts. Thank you for coming, and the best of luck. We'll be following.
Thank you for having us. And yes, please come December 5th.
December 5th, right. Thank you. And I'd like to remind our viewers that my guests were Sonya Armaghanyan, she's the founder and artistic director of EVN Community Theatre, and Noemi Akopian, she's a participant and project assistant with the Community Theatre. Keep following CivilNet.